Welcome everybody to Extreme Off-Road Silly Builds, and today we're dealing with the 1966 Hillman Imp. Now this has 668 horsepower, 682 pounds-feet of torque from a 2-litre turbocharged inline-4 engine, and the car itself now weighs 1,639 pounds, has off-road tyres, all-wheel drive and off-road suspension, and it can do 0 to 60 in 3.115 seconds, 0 to 100 in 5.117 seconds, and going to a top speed of 179 miles an hour. Now, unlike other small cars that we've had on this series, this is rear-engined, and yeah, it was originally rear-wheel drive as well. So yeah, it should be able to deal with the all-wheel drive as well as that, because it's not got power going through the front of it originally. So yeah, understeer shouldn't be too much of an issue, I hope. But being such a small wheelbase car, having the engine at the back does obviously give it some unique handling characteristics. Plus it's had vents put in the rear end and the front, and it's also got a wider stance than it had originally with bigger fenders as well. So yeah, quite a radical overhaul. Another reason why it shouldn't really understeer is because most of the weight is at the back, so it should be able to slide around corners. Obviously that engine is bigger than an original engine, while obviously having a turbocharger, so it is probably a little bit heavier at the back than it was before, but shouldn't be no problem with the beefed up suspension and obviously the improved tyres. I'm hoping this is going to be quick. Granted, it's not got the most power I've ever had on a car in this series, but this engine with this kind of power and torque has proved worthwhile in other cars. It's the engine that we used in all of those Renaults a week or so ago. Fairly decent rate of speed down there. Does seem to be struggling for traction though at the rear end. Easily getting around corners because you can just slide it around. And the lack of weight is not proving a detriment. It sometimes can be, as the lack of weight means that it's easily thrown around. But here it's dealing with it all right. Front was rising up a little bit there, and decent rate of speed across the finish line at 160 miles an hour. And we've got a time of 2 minutes 6 seconds .253. It's not quite as quick as the Opel Kadett A from the previous episode, but considering it's a rear-engined car with a small wheelbase and yeah, a lot more power than it ever had originally, that is still fairly decent. It's managed to beat the likes of the Mercedes-Benz E350D, the Lancia Stratos, Ford Escort RS 1600, Lancia Fulvia, Ram 2,500 Power Wagon, and the Renault 5 Turbo. So it's quicker than several off-road vehicles or rally vehicles from their period, and it's only slightly behind the Renault Sport Clio, Renault Clio RS 197, and the McLaren 720S Coupe. So yeah, fairly impressed by that, especially again considering it's a car with more than 600 horsepower than it had originally. It's still rear engine, so it's got a lot of weight over that rear end, which obviously can make it oversteer. So yeah, you've only got a certain amount of limit in terms of grip before weight and physics takes over and makes you spin out. So yeah, fairly impressive, again, especially since it's not the most powerful vehicle we've had on this series, and yeah, was hardly a car made for either doing this kind of, you know, off-road course or going at the rate of the speeds that it was. So yeah, really impressed by it, especially since I do rather like this car. It's easily one of the more unique vehicles that we have on this game, so yeah, I'm pleased that it did well. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.